Good morning. A squeeze on the seasonal jobs market. Yes. Yeah, I've started teaching the kids Jenga, but I'm really surprised that each one is a different size.
Well, they're not
different shape.
Not each one is different size. They're random sizes. So she doesn't say exactly how, but the whole
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. It does
there
make
you go.
sense.
You can dazzle your friends with that when you're playing in a pub.
They will be
garden.
fascinated with those Jenga facts, Dan.
So
to the
Nina's
top
back.
of Everest and back. Yeah,
We're talking about
believe
Christmas
it or
again.
not, I know you're in denial about this.
I'm not, you know that.
You're not. We've been up for it since September. Christmas is just around the corner. Good morning. We are officially on the countdown. And for shops, restaurants and bars, this is normally a really busy time. Now, they would usually cope with the demand by taking on temporary staff, generating seasonal employment. But as we know, thousands of businesses are closed at the moment. And it's not just the faces you see in store or serving tables, but warehouse staff, IT workers, data experts. There are big ripples to employment. Now, according to the job sites at Zuna, there are currently just under 14,000 Christmas jobs on offer across the UK at the moment. Now, this time last year, there were more than 20,000 vacancies, so a reduction of more than 30%. And Total Jobs told Breakfast that the jobs market is basically flat when it would normally be growing in the lead up to Christmas. They did tell us that things are looking better than they were in the first lockdown in March, though there is some growth out there, mainly in logistics, IT and social care. But the market is really tough. We spoke to Shane. Now, he lost his job at a furniture manufacturer and couldn't be furloughed. He hadn't been there long enough. He's applied for hundreds of jobs without joy and has noticed there's a real lack of seasonal work out there. Really hoping that Shane finds something before Christmas, but he isn't alone, of course, in wondering what's out there and what might they be looking for. So Amazon and Tesco are among those launching recruitment drives at the moment. Royal Mail are also taking on 33,000 temporary staff. That's a record number, and that's because we're ordering more gifts online. And what employers are telling us is that flexibility is key. Lots of these temporary roles require workers to be available round the clock. They say it's important to flag that up if you can commit to those hours. But of course, not everybody can, and competition is fierce at the moment. What can you do to stand out and potentially convert temporary roles to something permanent? Well, we'll be speaking to an expert in recruitment later, so do send in questions if you have them. And at the moment, Dan and Louise, in England, of course, we're still in this lockdown. If and when things reopen in December, there's expected to be a surge in temporary work. But, of course, employers don't know at the moment whether to start advertising those jobs because we don't know what's around the corner.
It makes it really tricky, doesn't it?
It does,
Nina,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not a normal year, is it?
No, it's not. You know, those seasonal jobs, the kind of thing that you maybe did when you were a student or when you're at school, those Christmas jobs or summer jobs, just not happening at the moment. And we are on that countdown to Christmas. For shops, restaurants and bars, this is normally a really busy time of year, and they would cope with that demand, usually by taking on temporary staff. But with so many businesses closed, it's estimated there are currently just under 14,000 temporary Christmas jobs on offer across the UK. Now, this time last year, there were more than 20,000 vacancies, so that's a reduction of almost a third. And for the jobs which are on offer, the market is really tough. And we spoke to Shane, who lost his job at a furniture manufacturer in the summer. Since then, he's applied for hundreds of roles. We're keeping everything crossed for Shane in the run-up to Christmas. But what can he and others like him do to stand out? Let's talk to Kate McCall. What we're hearing day after day from people looking for work is that they're not even hearing back on the application process. What can people do to stand out at that point? Positives, though. Tesco's, Hermes, Amazon, Royal Mail are taking on at the moment. People might look at the jobs available and think they don't match my skill set. But that doesn't necessarily matter, does it? If somebody does manage to secure temporary work, to try and make it permanent, because that's what people want at the moment. Not just with delivery companies, but as Kate was saying, in call centres. The reality is, though, we saw last week the number of vacancies went up for the fourth month in a row, but 1.6 million people unemployed. The prediction is that could double by Christmas, so very basic maths. There are more people out of work than there are jobs available. And the reality is it's going to be a very tough Christmas for lots of families.
Yeah, she made so many interesting points, particularly that one about, you know, taking on a term, if you find one.
Yeah, and I think for some people, you know, they've got their heart set, their mindset on one career path. Sometimes it's about thinking, OK, for now, that's not going to happen. I've got to accept that's the reality and pivot in a different direction. And even if it's temporary, it will look good on your CV that you've tried to go in a different direction.
That's how you deal with that situation, isn't it? Thank you, Nina.
Absolutely. It's not easy.
Thank you.